Hey y'all, it's Mr. Smith. We're going to solve another system by elimination. So do we need to eliminate the x or the y? So hopefully you said the y. I know it's not so obvious in this problem, but we always want to look if none of them match up, like we have a 2 and a 3 and we have a 1 and a 4. We want to try and find the one that's a coefficient of 1, because that's going to be the easiest way to make the two coefficients the same. So since this is the coefficient of 1, what can we multiply 1 by to give us 4? That is correct, 4. So we're going to multiply this entire equation by 4. So when we do that, we get 8x minus 4y is equal to 36. And our second equation is going to remain the same. So we have 3x plus 4y is equal to negative 14. And then all we have to do is figure out, do we need to add these together or subtract them? So we have a negative and a positive 4. So the only way that will eliminate or become 0 is if we add them together. So 8 plus 3 will give us 11x. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0, so we don't write down anything. Then we have 36 plus negative 14, which is 22. And then we have our simple one-step problem. So we divide everything by 11. And we get x is equal to 2. So remember, the solution to an ordered pair is always, the solution to a system is always an ordered pair. So we have 2, comma, and we just got to find the y value. So how do we find the y value again? That is right, we just choose one of our equations. I'm going to choose our original equation, the 2x minus y equals 9. So we have 2x minus y is equal to 9. Remember, we found out that x was 2, so we're going to plug in a 2 for x. So we have 2 times 2. So that will give us 4. And then we just solve for y. So we're going to subtract 4 on both sides. We get minus 4. So now we have a negative y, because there's a minus that we cannot forget about. 9 minus 4 is 5. And then we divide everything by negative 1. And we find out that y is equal to negative 5. So the answer to this system is 2 comma negative 5. So let's try one more. So in this one, this time, we have 4x minus 3y is equal to 25, and we have negative 3x plus 8y is equal to 10. So in this problem, none of them are the same, and there's no one coefficient. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and make the x's the same. And by making the x's the same, we can easily make them both 12. So I can multiply this one by 3, and I can multiply this one by 4. And so a hint, you can always take this coefficient and multiply the whole equation by it, and then take the other coefficient and multiply the whole equation about it. Usually I don't worry about the negatives, because I don't like having to do an extra flipping, because there's a possibility I might make a mistake. So let's do 4 times 3, we get our 12x. 3 times negative 3, we get our negative 9y. 3 times 25, we get 75. And then for the second equation, we're going to multiply everything by 4. So we get negative 12x. And then we have 8 times 4, which will give us a 32, and that's a positive 32y. And then we have our 4 times 10, which is 40. And so remember, we're trying to eliminate our x's. So we have a positive and negative. So we have a positive negative, we have to add it. So 12 plus negative 12, 0, that is right. So we don't write anything. And now we have negative 9 plus 32. So it's almost like we're subtracting. So we get a positive 23. Why? Because the 32 is bigger, and that's positive. Then we have 75 plus 40, which will give us our 115. And so the last step that we have is to divide everything by 23. And 115 divided by 23 should give us 5. If you're like, how did he do that? Well, if we do 23 times 5, we get 15. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11, 115. I looked at the last little number here, saw that 15, so I figured it was going to be 5, and it just so happens that it works out. So anyway, we know the solution to a system of equation is always an ordered pair. We know the y term is 5, so now we have to find the x term. And how do we do that? That is correct. We choose one of the equations. So let's choose the second one this time. And we have negative 3x plus 8y is equal to 10. And we're going to plug in 5 for y. So we have negative 3x plus 8 times 5 is equal to 10. 8 times 5 is 40. And then we subtract this 40 on both sides. Bam and bam. We get negative 30 is equal to negative 3x. And then what's the last thing we do? We divide by negative 3. Very good. And we get x is equal to 10. So the solution to this system of equation is 10, 5. I hope this video helped. See you next time.